time to give up, or are you just one step away from success? Most people quit not because they have failed, but they're just giving up way too soon. What if I told you one of the most successful people that we look up to struggled for years before they saw a single result? But one thing they had in common was the fact that they didn't give up. Recently, I listened to an episode of Diary of the CEO with Mr. Beast. I didn't know Mr. Beast that well until I listened to that podcast. He was just so inspiring. He's 26 years old and he started YouTube when he was 11. He's the biggest in YouTube. What did he know at that time? Like at age 11, I was probably playing with dolls still. I was definitely not in the mindset of doing something that consistently. And what I've learned from him is incredible. He posted for 10 years without seeing a single result. That was like so inspiring, because how do you continue to do something that long without like focusing on the results? From what I can tell, all over social media, we see examples of people, right? Nobody is really showing the consistency behind it. And it is true, there are people who reach to a certain success quicker than other people. It does happen for some people, but it's like literally like winning a lottery. You compare your wealth to someone that just won lottery? Probably not. And luck does play a part for a very, very small percentage of people, but the majority of people that we look up to didn't have that. They were just consistent, obsessed about the idea of becoming successful. Vera Wang, for instance, she started as a figure skater, then a journalist. Only at the age of 40, she became a designer. That also shows that it's never too late. Howard Schultz, the Starbucks CEO, was rejected 217 times before he got his first yes. This also shows that you have to be able to deal with no's. Let me give you an example from my business, Doleray. I got so many rejections. No brand wanted to collaborate with me. I was trying to transfer the vision that I had in my mind, but people were not open to any change, or maybe I wasn't that convincing. And throughout each meeting that we had, I became better. I felt more confident in the idea. I was able to talk about it more confidently. That actually changed the whole game for me. So let's talk about, why do you even think about giving up in the first place? One thing that I completely can tell you is because all of the myth of overnight success. So when those people come up on social media and try to give you like 5 steps to become an overnight success, no, that's just like not gonna work, because that doesn't exist. They just got lucky and they won the lottery. You have to think like that. What you can learn from is the people who were consistent enough to show up every single day. Also, many people quit because they think slow progress equals failure, which is completely wrong. Because again, we see a lot of examples of this overnight success, and we're like thinking of, you know, this girl like became successful after her first year. She hired this many people. You cannot help but compare yourself. As long as there's a progress, there's no failure. Once you understand that success actually does take time, then you're good, because that will save you from a lot of headaches. J.K. Rowling got rejected 12 times before Harry Potter was published. Oprah Winfrey got fired from her first TV job. I'm like, what? And none of these people would have been successful if they had quit early. So how to know when you're giving up too early? Have you guys heard of the 10,000 hour rule? It's a concept popularized by Malcolm Gladwell in his book Outliers. So basically what he says is that in order to become an expert at something, you have to give at least 10,000 hours. This can of course vary according to person, but that means that you have to give a lot of time into something before you actually become an expert. So you have to give your all, basically. You have to give your time. You have to improve your skills. Otherwise, how do you expect a different result? Let's say social media, you're posting, but you don't have a really strategy behind it. How do you really expect things to go differently? So you have to improve all of the skills that you need in order to succeed. One thing I started to do recently is to track my progress. I'm unfortunately a person that can sometimes be harsh on herself. This way, I'm not harsh on myself anymore. What I do is, like, for instance, if a TikTok video doesn't perform well, I was like, what did I do wrong? You know, I'm taking everything so seriously and I'm blaming myself for it, which is horrible. Don't do it. I'm just basically doing a quality check before I post the video. Is this video good? Am I proud of this video? Check, and then I post it. Because algorithm is something that I cannot control. So by this way, I'm just keeping everything in my control that I can control. The rest I cannot control, so I don't think about it. After doing this, I become so much happier. Like when I post something, I'm not like waiting for a miracle to happen, because that's what I was doing. I was posting a video, I'm like, maybe finally this video will change everything for me. Why the heck am I thinking about that? In order to know when exactly to quit, you should maybe ask yourself a few questions. Check in, did I really give my all? Have you been consistent? And how long have you been consistent? Because you can be consistent a week, but were you consistent long enough? Second question, are you improving your skills each day? Do you do something a little bit more extra to improve your skills? Number 3, are you making any progress? Small progress is still a progress. Don't forget that. Have you tried different approaches before quitting? This is really, really important. Sometimes we put our focus on one single thing and we're not really seeing the bigger picture. I'm just going to give one example from Doleray again. For instance, I'm doing everything I can to be consistent on social media, and since day one, I am able to be consistent because I plan everything in advance. I do my best. In that regard, I know that, but it's still not like the visibility that I would want. So what else can I do? I literally thought about that. Then I said, why not doing like more networking? Because that's what is missing. So more pop-up store events, or maybe flyers, things that are completely out of my comfort zone. Let's do it. Try to think outside the box. Like, what else can you do to improve your business? Also, there's this mindset that always pushes me more, because I'm like thinking, what if this was the last step? If I did this, maybe I'm there. This breakthrough moment, this event that you go to will create the breakthrough. This video that you'll post will create the breakthrough, because you never know what's gonna happen. Now we know if we're giving up too early or not. But when exactly is it okay to quit? Because quitting doesn't always mean failure. It can also pivot you towards something else. So how do you know when to quit? When the passion is gone and you don't see the mission anymore, you don't see any vision in this business anymore. That's when it's okay to quit. Number 2, if you're truly exhausted from every approach, like you cannot even see your business anymore, you just like don't want to sit at the table and work on your business, that's when it's time to rethink things. Number 3, if something better aligns with your vision. It can also be that you suddenly found another passion along the way. If you don't see any passion or vision, you can always rethink things. Successful entrepreneurs quit things all the time. It's not like you're going to be the first one, but they don't give up. It guides them towards something else that they're passionate about. So are you closer than you think? Well, you just gotta continue and figure out for yourself. If this video gave you a new perspective about quitting, then make sure to like and subscribe, because we will be sharing more videos about entrepreneurship. We actually have a lot of fun videos planned as well. If you're into slow fashion, make sure to check our website, and also make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We're a little bit everywhere. I see these videos that I do as a way of networking as well with like small business owners like myself. So if you're a small business owner, let's connect and write down what kind of business you do in the comments, and let's support one another. I'll see you guys in the next video.